So, anywho, before we get into the main show, they did have a quick change. So, as I mentioned with the pre-show, originally the Sons of Agony match and the Sons of Texas match versus Shane Taylor Production was supposed to be the third match on the card, but they switched it up and made it the first because Adam Cole got terribly injured. He had a very bad concussion. Apparently, he wasn't cleared.
No, we didn't know at the time. All they said is he wasn't cleared to wrestle.
This is after the fact. They said he wasn't cleared to wrestle, so they decided to change his match against what was it? Fletcher originally?
Yeah, it was going to be a three-way between Cole, Fletcher, and Garcia.
Yeah.
But that got canceled. So that one we also can't count because we voted for that originally. We didn't know it was going to happen. You know?
Yeah. It's the Garcia now, like all of a sudden, like I guess last minute change.
Yeah, because of the Adam Cole thing. So they decided.
I will say real quick before you get into it. I will say one of the funniest. I'm like, you pulled a Sid Vicious and made fun and basically mocked yourself by trying to sound cool. Daniel Garcia had a fucking hilarious thing, and it was clearly not intentional to sound like a dumbass, but he did. When he goes, "Oh, you think you're owed a title shot for beating Daniel Garcia? Well, everyone's beating Daniel Garcia." I'm like,
yes.
That's you, stupid. That's you.
I was like,
yeah.
Like, you think you're so good? You think you're so good because you beat me? Everyone's kicked my ass. I'm like, that's not.
I'm sorry. I gotta go back to 1987 Turtles for this one. It's like that one with Leonardo. I forgot who they were going up against, and Leonardo said, "Yeah, we're not as dumb as we." It was some kind of line like that. And Raph was like, "No, Leo, no. You don't walk into something like that." That's
no.
exactly what
I remember what it was. It was the kid. It was the look. It's all like everybody hates me. Hey, little bud, that's not true. No, I hate him. No. It was Raph. It was Raph. Raph said that. He's like, no, actually, I do. I
love that. That is still one of my favorite Raphael moments.
Okay.
But anyway.
Anyways, another thing we're going to say is that it was kind of a mystery throughout the night, and it was explained actually afterwards. But at first, it was just Cole is not clear to wrestle, and that's it. And they were trying to, I guess, put it to kayfabe because later on they were saying, the match is coming up later on tonight. Cole is out because due injuries caused by Fletcher, the previous night. And you're like, okay, we saw a collision. When does this occur? You know what I mean? And then, of course, it changes something else later. But
so the match got changed to a four-way between the Sons of Texas and Garcia and Fletcher. So since Dustin and Sammy had to pull a double duty, that's why they rearranged the matches at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we'll get there when we get there. So the first match on here for the main show is the Opps versus the Death Riders for the World Trios Championship. Okay, so for this one, the Opps actually won, and everyone got a point for this one except for poor DJF, who went with the Death Riders. For this, we have for a few notes here. Gabe was acting like an animal at the beginning of the match, walking in on all fours. And I said, even George Animal still never did that. And then there are 2 minute chops between Shibata and oh my gosh,
Gabe kid.
I hate chops. He got attacked in the corner.
Everyone just took turns on him and everything.
Yeah, I don't think Yuta consented to that. And then Samoa Joe was ganged up on, and then he ended up being carried out at the end.
Yeah. So the Opps won, but I guess they kind of lost the war in the sense that Samoa Joe was taken out of the game and everything.
He's trying to escape.
Yeah. But it was I liked it. It was an interesting match. Always good to see the Opps in action and everything. And I also like anytime the Death Riders lose and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I find Gabe Kidd annoying though. I'm sure he's pulling his own, but I always find him annoying because he's like that annoying extra backup. Because it's like when you got it's like the NWO. When it was like massive,
Oh, when you had that's NWO 1, that's NWO 2.
Yeah. But it's like saying you already got the NWO and they're unstoppable as is, and in the few moments you're gonna lose, now you're gonna bring in fucking Goldberg and Ultimate Warrior, Yokozuna as well to cheat, and you know what I mean? Like they don't need Gabe Kidd on top of who they already have.
Well,
You know?
the reason, well, the thing is, like, Gabe has actually talked about this in an interview recently. He said, he's Bullet Club through and through, and the whole stuff with the Death Riders is mostly, he's like, I'm basically just being a mercenary for them. I don't actually want to be a part of their shitty group. He said that before, so he's flat out said, like, because the fact of the matter is they don't have any appreciation for him anyway. It's basically they needed an extra person because Mox bit off more than he could chew, so they needed an extra person. So he's not really like a part of the Death Riders. He's more like a mercenary. So it's like, okay, because the fact is, like, they have zero respect for him and the company because they don't even mention the fact that he's the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, which is the second biggest prize in New Japan. They don't even mention that. So, like, he's not going to give his A game. He's just like, all right, I'm getting paid because he's like focused on his own shit in New Japan right now. So
Man,
I'm like,
work for Tunicon. I wish I get paid to do nothing.
You say Tunicon? You say Tunicon?
Tunicon. I wish I could
I was
work
like,
for
they said
Tunicon.
Tunicon. Now I just imagined a frizzy-haired fish.
Oh, okay. But anyways, what were your thoughts on the match, Jack, if any?
It was fine. I mean, it was kind of like, all right, decent start to the show. I mean, I personally kind of like seeing. I really liked the match with Shibata and Gabe from before. So for me, I'm like, because I'm such a big Bullet Club. You know me, I'm a hardcore Bullet Club fan. But I and the mentality of like he's the only real reason I would watch that match. Like, I do love Shibata, and I do love Joe, but it kind of feels like their versions now are so watered down that I'm just like, eh. And Hobbs is fine. He's not anything to write home about. Claudio sucks though, man. I don't know what is wrong with him anymore. He is, ever since he's become a villain, he's gotten really weak in the game, like in his style. Like it's just bland. I get, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's too predictable. It's too predictable and boring. And I'm like, dude, you used to be like top tier, must watch kind of style, and now it's like, all right, a couple European uppercuts, and I'm gonna do a swing,
get your
maybe,
hand up there.
and
The ball.
I was gonna say that.
There you go.
yeah, it was just like, it was fine, but like I said, it wasn't anything to write home about. I'm like, it's a basic way to start a pay-per-view. I'm like, all right, like, no harm, no foul. It's fine. That's basically my opinion.
Your thoughts, Johnny?
Oh, I was gonna say that the match in general, I personally thought that it was pretty watered down. Like, I didn't really see much from, I don't know, Powerhouse Hobbs, if I'm not mistaken. So Samoa Joe, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like the wrestlers didn't do much. And yeah, like you said, Claudio Castagnoli, like, he's just like, he's there. It looks like he's just collecting the paycheck at this point.
Right, and I think what really made me kind of irked about that, and maybe Johnny will probably agree with me on this, it's because this is the biggest show of the year. And it felt like you did not give your top tier style, like, you didn't give it your all on the best show. And to me, that's kind of like a middle finger to the fans, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, that's what we all can say. Because like I said, the match was like, I don't know. I don't really remember much about it except for the few things we mentioned. 'Cause I mean, the Gabe thing was like, okay, Gabe, all right, you want to be a tiger today? Okay, you're great.